I'm just gonna jump in because I seriously don't know how to intro something like this, a topic like this. I tried to think of so many ways that I can approach this in a way that accomplishes my goal of not offending people, but rather just stating my opinion, but something that I also think all of us need to think about. But we are so far past the point in this country where we can make change and still afford to keep people comfortable. So I figured we could just start off this topic by a definition of what conformity is. By definition. So it is behavior that is in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. And I want to emphasize the point that it's socially accepted norms, essentially. The problem with creating a society that blindly supports a socially accepted norm is that that norm is not necessarily harmful unless other people can't relate their experiences to said norm. Because in America, there's this really strange idea that we're all supposed to relate to one very specific way of life. And it's not even just that that's the way of life, that's the norm. It's that anything that detracts from the norm isn't just alternative, it's wrong. It's not even just that alternatives are considered wrong after thorough analyzation, after thought has been put into assessing anybody else's way of life from a logical perspective. None of that is taking place. It's just an immediate assumption that because it's different, it's wrong. And the reason why it scares me so much is because it's so dangerous. It's the same reason why the idea of defunding the police is so abstract to some people. Because in America, we're supposed to respect people in uniform because they have uniforms. I don't respect people because of the positions of power that they hold. I never have, and after the past, I don't even know, it feels like a month, I can't even give a point of time, but recently, I'm sure as hell not respecting anybody just because they have a uniform on. That's not a reason to respect somebody. I'm gonna need more than just, I'm an authority figure over you, you have to respect me. People need to start proving themselves. When people start having distrust in the institution that is literally designed to, and I quote, serve and protect, when people start distrusting that institution, that is not the time to turn on your own people. When you stop addressing the needs of the people that put you in your positions of power, you have to address it. It's so much a part of our society that it's not even considered that people can think outside of the box of what the institution tells them to think. It's the same reason that Joe Biden thinks that he can tell Black people that their Blackness is going to be determined by whether or not they vote for him. Like, no. Joe Buddy Boy Biden, you don't get ownership of my vote because I'm Black. That's actually an insulting joke. What I'm going to need you to do is gather the few words you have left and enumerate to me clearly the ways in which you plan to address the needs of the Black community and address the grave missteps of the past. You can start there. Conformity is so much of a part of our society. It's assumed that like Black people are only going to think this way. And if you're not Black, or if you're Black and you don't think this way, then you're not Black. Like, what? And it's so dehumanizing and devaluing the power of an individual's vote. You are literally just reducing that vote down to the color of their skin. Like, I genuinely don't understand how this is Joe in this case, how you can address a community that has confronted so much injustice in this country and refer to the power of their vote in such a flippant and nonchalant way. Like, you are actively contributing to the mitigation and the value of voting in the eyes of young people when you make a dumbass statement like that. And you're trying to be the president of the United States of America. Like, is this actually a joke? So yeah, do better. And in this case, we would be asking you to take your standard from the basement floor to the bare minimum. But I guess that's what we're hoping for now. I don't get how you expect to be the greatest country in the world, which doesn't exist. Can we just knock that down? There is no greatest country in the world. Nobody has created a perfect system because humans aren't perfect. What we can do is try to construct solid institutions that can evolve with people. And if they need to be changed, we can make changes and progress as a society. But that's not what's happened in America. A constitutional amendment doesn't mean that that's what we've done. That means we've passed a constitutional amendment, but that doesn't mean that we've done the work to heal our country. And that's through accurate, proper education. Is one aspect in which that can be manifested upon others that I personally shouldn't be coming up with. I elect people into their offices so that they can make those decisions for me, because they're the ones that are going to have access to the resources to make the most informed decisions that I don't have access to. So that if I don't know, I can defer to their judgment. But that's not where we are in America. And because that's not where we are, we need to address that and move forward. You're not going to get me to believe that the America of today is a sound and solid foundation, because it's just not. And what it boils down to is just an inability of the people that are in positions of power to admit the fact that the institutions that they work in, operate, have control over, have influence over, whatever, to whatever degree, they can't admit that the institutions of this country have failed its people and that we need to figure out how to move forward. That's what this is. It's an inability to accept the fact that we are no longer conforming. I'm not conforming anymore. Because in my conformity, I would be silent. I wouldn't be saying the things that I'm saying today. I really wouldn't. But it's to the point now where it's like, none of us can be comfortable. We can't afford to be comfortable. You know? Showing our support on social media isn't enough. We're too comfortable. I was too comfortable. It's accountability time. I am partially responsible. I could have done more. I should have done more. I could have advocated more. Could have had more conversations that meant something. And so in part, I am responsible. Part of it falls on me. But I know I'm not the only one responsible. I'm going to try to do my part to be more vocal about all things that I feel need to be spoken about. And yeah, try to do a lot more in my personal conversations and just in my world in general. Find ways to do more, because there's always more we could be doing. I just hope that we'll be able to tell our kids how we fought for the right side of history. So yeah, love it if we made it.